you are a mom or a grandma, I'm gonna need you to please leave. Okay, are they gone? Great, okay. So Sunday is Mother's Day. Shh. Okay, Sunday's Mother's Day. I'm going to show you how to make some cards for mom or grandma or any grown-up who takes care of you using puns. A pun is kind of like a joke where you take a word and you change the meaning a little bit so that it's kind of silly. I'll show you what I mean. So I'm going to show you how to make this card and this one and this one and finally this one. So, if you are someone who does not really celebrate extra holidays like Mother's Day, that's okay. You can make these cards just to say thank you to someone who loves you and takes care of you. There's never a bad time of year to say thanks for all you do. Also, if you don't live with mom, you can still make these cards. They don't have to say to mom or Happy Mother's Day. They have different jokes on them. So you can make it for mom or grandma or grandpa or an aunt or an uncle or any grown-up who helps take care of you, even an older brother or sister if they do a lot at home. So without further ado, let's get started on some of these punny cards. This first design is super easy. So we are going to start by making a straight line across, and it doesn't even have to be exactly side to side. Then I'm going to make a boat shape like this underneath it. And then I'm going to draw 2 circles, or at least most of the circles. So I'm going to start here and do a large circle. And then right next to it, I'm going to do a smaller circle. And then I'm going to draw a heart in between them. I'm going to give them happy faces. So if I do a smile with a bigger smile underneath, it makes the mouth look open. And if I draw 2 bumps like this, and then color in the rest, now I have a tongue. And then for the baby, I'm going to draw 2 upside down letter U's, and then I'm going to draw another smile. And those are my peas. I'm going to color them in green. I'm going to do a darker green down here and a lighter green up here, and then I will color the heart and the tongue either pink or red and check back in. All right, my peas are all colored in, so to complete the pun, I'm just going to write down the actual pun that this picture is based off of. So I'm going to start with H-A for happy, but now I'm going to do a dash and write the word P, and then I can write Mother's Day. And I am capitalizing it because it is a holiday. And then of course, you want to let mom know who it is by. You can also give this to grandma or an aunt or any other mom that you know. To make the card with the lion on it, we're gonna start by making the lion's face. And I'm sorry for any background noise. I have noisy downstairs neighbors and a really crazy kitten right now. So for the lion's face, we're gonna start with a big circle. And next we're gonna do his eyes. So I'm gonna do 2 more big circles for his eyes. And I'm gonna color them in a little bit differently. So I'm going to make him 2 more circles that are both kind of on the inside part of his eyes. And then another tiny circle inside of that. And I'm going to color in the parts of the circle that are not the teeny tiny ones. So I'm coloring in that middle size circle. It kind of makes it look like he has Google eyes a little bit. Next I'm going to do his nose. To make his nose, it's sort of like an upside down, or actually not upside down, it's sort of like a triangle shape. And then for his mouth, I'm going to do the letter J and a backwards letter J, and I'm going to do 3 little dots on each side to show where his whiskers would go. And last, I will do his ears. And then I'm going to draw a bunch of different colorful lines, like yellow and orange going around his head to make his mane. I'm gonna do that and come back to show you guys. So I used yellow, orange, and a little bit of brown to finish coloring in my lion, and as you can see, I did a bunch of little lines mixing all those colors together to make his mane. So for the last part of this card, we have to do the pun. So I'm gonna write the contraction, you are. So you're great and I'm not lying. So it's like saying you are great and I'm not lying, only you are great and I'm not lying. And as always, you want to have a to and a from if you're making a card. And there's our lion. So the next card is going to be the jar of fireflies that says you light up my life. So we're going to start by making a big glass jar. To do that, we are going to make, near the top of the paper, a rectangle shape like this. That's going to be the lid of our jar. And then to show it's a jar that you can screw a top on to open and close it, I'm going to just make a couple sideways lines coming from each side. So now it looks like we can put a lid on top of the jar. Now I'm going to draw two curved lines that go out like this. And then I'm going to continue. So it's almost like you're drawing somebody's shoulder. So one shoulder comes all the way down, and then the other shoulder is going to do the same, and it's going to curve all the way down. And then to finish the jar, we're just going to draw a straight line across the bottom. Awesome. Next, we're going to draw some fireflies. So to do that, it's pretty easy. I'm going to draw an oval shape or a skinny oval shape and two little antennae and then two wings. And I'm going to repeat that and draw a bunch of little fireflies all over my jar, but I'm going to leave a little bit of space at the bottom because I think I'm going to put my words inside the jar. So after I draw a bunch of fireflies, I'm going to finish that up by drawing yellow and coloring in a yellow circle around them so it looks like they are lighting up like that. And I'm going to check back in as soon as I finish that. Alright, I've got all my fireflies, but I want to add that pun, you light up my life. That's why I left this bottom part open. You could also write it down here or on the top of your card. I want it to be part of the picture. So I'm going to write, you light up, like our fireflies are lighting up, my life. Gonna add a to and a from, and then the last part I'm gonna add to my card is I'm going to color in the jar a little bit with a light blue color just so that it's not all white. Ta-da! Alright, I finished coloring it blue. I think it looks much better with a little color in the background. That is how you do the You Light Up My Life card. Let's move on to the next one. The last card is going to have the watering can raining hearts onto some flowers, and it's going to say, thanks for always showering me with love. So to do that, we're going to start by drawing a watering can up in the top corner of where you want to make your picture. A watering can is going to be a rectangle for the can. Now we're going to give it a handle so you can pour. So it's kind of like you're drawing half of a heart on the side. And then we're going to do the same thing again, only a little smaller, to make the handle for your watering can. Up here, I'm going to draw a curved line that comes down. So when you pour it, all the water doesn't spill out of the top. And now I'm going to make the spout for the watering can. So I'm going to draw two lines that go up and out from the side. And then at the end of that, I'm going to put a circle. That's where the water will come out of, and I will draw some dots to show that the water sprinkles out of that part. Now I'm going to make it raining hearts onto some flowers. So I'm going to just draw a few heart shapes raining down. So instead of watering these flowers with water, this watering can is watering the flowers with love. And then I'm going to draw a couple flowers at the bottom So I'm going to start with a circle for the middle of my flower, and you can decide however you want to draw a flower, your favorite way. It's up to you. I'm going to draw mine like this today. I'm going to turn the paper a little bit as I draw my flower just to make sure all of my petals are the same shape and the same size. And then I'll draw maybe a couple other flowers down here, and I'm going to make these petals round, so they're just going to be little bumps going around my flower. And then maybe I'll draw a tulip, so a letter U with a zigzag line across. Awesome. Can even do some leaves. All right, and then I'm going to show you how to do the pun right away and then color it in. So I'm going to write, thanks for always, whoop, squeeze it in there, showering me with love. And you can decide where you want to write your to and your from. I'm going to color in my watering can and my flowers. I will be right back. All right, and I'm finished coloring it in. You can change this however you want. You can make it your own. I would just definitely do the watering can and some kind of water if you want to use the showering me pun. All right, so today I've shown you how to make these 4 punny cards. Like I said, you don't have to celebrate Mother's Day to make a card for someone. It's always nice to tell somebody thank you for taking care of you. And it also doesn't have to be for mom either. It can be for grandma or an aunt or dad or an uncle or a cousin or a big brother or sister who helps take care of you. You can make these for anybody in your life who is important. Thank you for joining in, and hopefully I see you again next week for our next art lesson.